Kwa hivyo mimi siko hapa kwa sababu ya Raila Amolo Odinga, the politician. The politician is a man I have been in competition with for many years. I am here because of Raila Amolo Odinga, the leader. Yeah? And there is a difference.
Good afternoon to you viewers. I hope you're fine wherever you are. Welcome to Talk to Africa. My name is George. I hear a lot of accusations from Kenya Kwanza talking about Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Amolo Odinga. In many occasions, they say that Uhuru Kenyatta wants to succeed himself through Raila Amolo Odinga. I've heard MUDAVADI talking about his remote and all this kind of stuff. My question to you today is, does Uhuru Kenyatta want to succeed himself? In other words, is he just fronting Raila Amolo Odinga so that he is behind the scene in the coming government? If you're watching this channel for the first time, kindly consider subscribing to it. If you like any of our videos, we have quite a number here. If you like any one of them, kindly like them on YouTube. By the way, you can even sambaza or share with your friends. Is Uhuru Kenyatta succeeding himself by supporting Raila Amolo Odinga?
Patron wa Azimio ni nani? Hiyo ni project ya Uhuru Kenyatta. Na kwa hiyo project ameweka tinga hapo kama instrument yake. Alafu hivi karibuni anasema atateua nani atakuwa deputy president wa tinga. Yaani yeye abaki patron, aweke hawa jamaa kama vibaraka, hawa anafanya remote control akizidi kuendesha serikali hii. Mnakubali hiyo? Mnakubali hiyo? Sisi tunataka viongozi ambao who will take responsibility wakiwa mamlakani, wakiwa kwa nafasi hiyo, wajulikane kwamba hiyo serikali wakitoa uamuzi sio uamuzi ambao umeingia kwa dirisha ya nyuma. Wawe wale wako kwa hiyo hali ndio wanatoa uamuzi. Kwa hivyo sisi tunaomba tu tarehe 9 mwezi wa 8 mwaka huu tunataka Kenya kwanza ishinde kwa round ya kwanza. Sema round 1. Round 1. Round 1. Tunataka katika round 1 tupate ushindi. Hatutaki uchaguzi wa kurudia kama 2017. Hatutaki uchaguzi ambao utasukuma mtu aende.
Before we talk about whether or not Uhuru Kenyatta is trying to succeed himself, we need to know, number one, who is accusing Uhuru Kenyatta. And as I said, certainly the opposition to Azimio, that is the Kenya Kwanza team, led by William Samoei Ruto, are the main accusers of Uhuru Kenyatta that he essentially is trying to stay in power or to try and succeed himself. And this talking point has actually been taken by so many people. In fact, even people you would imagine can see, through the veil. So if you want to look at this situation, if Uhuru Kenyatta wants to succeed himself or not, or he wants to stay in power, we need to look back a little bit again and see there was a time, in fact, when Uhuru Kenyatta had said, Zako kumi, zangu kumi, when he was talking in at a campaign rally sometimes back, and by that time Raila Amolo Odinga was out there. So William Samoei Ruto after that actually worked so hard to try and get Uhuru Kenyatta's support and endorsement, but that wasn't forthcoming. In fact, their relationship lasted only, I would say, like 4 to 5 years of the total of almost 10 years administration that they've had in Jubilee. So William Samoei Ruto really wanted to be like the candidate to be supported by Uhuru Kenyatta. But for some reason, either political, personal, or whatever, for some reason that didn't work out. And Uhuru Kenyatta, somewhere along the line, changed his mind regarding his support for William Samoei Ruto. So essentially, if all were equal, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta would have continued to support William Samoei Ruto, and in 2022, which is this year, we would have automatically known that William Samoei Ruto will be the next president of the Republic of Kenya had he been supported by Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. Now, he tried on so many occasions, even later on, but it was clear that Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta had actually moved on and he wasn't interested in any way in supporting William Samoei Ruto. So, if really Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta is succeeding himself in this case of supporting a different candidate, who is Raila Amolo Odinga, then we can argue the same way in terms of Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta wanted to succeed himself by supporting William Samoei Ruto, whom, by the way, he endorsed publicly at that particular time. So from that angle alone, that argument coming from the same people, that is William Samoei Ruto, that Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta wants to succeed himself, it doesn't wash, So from that aspect, I would say it doesn't wash at all. Then the other thing I would like to say is that Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta has a right as an individual to basically try and steer the country to the direction that he wants the country to be, even after he has left government. He has some projects that he has started, and he would like to see those projects continue. He has employees in terms of cabinet ministers and all these people. He would like to see the majority of them in government, and he has supporters whom basically he would like to see in the coming government. He would not like to have his entire administration, being thrown out, when actually he leaves power, which to me is a good thing, because it brings about something called accountability and team building, So in that view, with that in mind, I would say that, that is just another accusation, By the way, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta is the consumer of a lot of information. He is served by even the intelligence, let alone his own personal ways of getting information and gathering, his own connection, in other words. So Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, being somebody who is able to get a lot of information about almost everybody in this country, he definitely has a pretty good picture of William Samoei Ruto and the team that supports William Samoei Ruto. And even then, thereafter, what you've seen, even after the furore that has been there between Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta and William Samoei Ruto, or rather even then, on the team of William Samoei Ruto, those words thrown, a lot of maneno and all this kind of stuff, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta has been able to get a lot of information from that kind of relationship. It would have been harder for Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta to get more information from William Samoei Ruto had he been in government, or had he been quiet. That would have been difficult for him. But having gone out there and said all sorts of things that they've said, using his own Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta's Mount Kenya base to, propagate whatever ideals he has, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta has been able to get quite a little of information from that aspect. And he knows pretty well the reason why he is probably supporting Raila Amolo Odinga is because he knows that his interests in the coming government cannot basically be catered for all or taken care of by William Samoei Ruto if he succeeded him. So looking at it from that angle, you can see that it's not necessarily so that Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta wants to succeed himself. I think these are just political overtones, if you ask me. The other thing is that if you look at other countries like the US, when Obama was actually exiting and they were fronting for Hillary Clinton, Obama actually went out campaigning for Hillary Clinton, and it's a normal. Go to Russia, you'll find a preferred candidate, taking over. There's a new prime minister in Japan. I'm sure behind the scene, there's that support by the outgoing prime minister. So this is normal. This is quite normal. And you'll always have presidents who basically, even by appointing their running mates, they are saying, oh, if I leave, this, you are in good hands, you have this particular. Kenya Kwanza team should be coming with things which are more substantive, than basically trying to bring these issues or remote control, those things, So I really don't think, by that account alone, I really don't think that Uhuru Muigai wants to really succeed himself. And talking of this, whether Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta is supporting William Samoei Ruto or is supporting Raila Amolo Odinga, at the end of the day, it's for the benefit of the country that Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, having seen his 9 or 10 years of administration, by that, him recommending somebody or supporting somebody is not outrageous. It's one of those things that you really be happy to have. In fact, foreign countries would want to have that kind of succession plan in a country. That actually increases it doesn't, let me not say increases, that actually improves our rating, our so-called sovereign risk or country risk for our external partners. By the way, this government of Azimio, if you say that Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta wants to succeed himself by virtue of being a co-partner with Raila Amolo Odinga in Azimio, and Raila Amolo Odinga obviously is the presidential candidate, if that is the argument, then I would say that doesn't make sense either, because Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta is not expected not to have any political affiliation. So what do you think? Does Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta want to succeed himself, or is it just politics? Today, in my side pocket thing, I just wanted to say one or two things. Well, I wasn't actually dumbstruck by what Kalonzo did, by actually showing up at the panel, and that's a good thing. In fact, in the next few minutes, the panel will actually be, handing over the list or giving a list of the selected 3 to Raila Amolo Odinga and Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta to make that kind of decision. So I wasn't surprised that Kalonzo showed up. I'm beginning to understand Kalonzo the way he is. He says one thing today and probably does something. It's the way it is. Whether Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta made a phone call or not, the fact is he's basically changed his mind. The other thing that in my side pocket show is regarding these 2 candidates, Raila Amolo Odinga, William Samoei Ruto. In our shows, we've always said that politicians are politicians, but at the end of the day, we balance out and find out on who is better than the other and why. Is Raila better than William Samoei Ruto? Is William Samoei Ruto better than? What would we recommend? Where would my support be? I painted these 2 politicians with the same brush, but I used different colors for the 2 of them. So it doesn't mean that when we give an even kind of analysis, it doesn't mean that we don't have an opinion. An analysis is basically to be able to come out with the possibilities or probably what's going on here, get to the depth of things and just analyze them. But that doesn't remove the fact that, we have preferred candidates. Yeah, everybody who is doing this thing will have a preferred candidate. So we may paint them with the same brush, but using different colors. One of these days, I'll tell you the candidate that I support between Raila Amolo Odinga and Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. So you better stay tuned. Does Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta want to succeed himself? Kindly share your comments below. We'll highly appreciate it.